Hello there. My name is Fimbas Ezema Chisom, and welcome to day 5 of Loctech online data analysis free training. Please ensure if you've not yet subscribed to subscribe to our channel so you can catch up with the other days. Day 1 to day 4, they were very interesting days where we covered Excel and we introduced our viewers to Power BI. So the agenda of the day is, as you will soon see on my screen, on my slide, on my screen, the agenda of the day is we will master advanced charts and graphs using Power BI. We'll learn how to utilize Power BI to create some advanced charts and graphs. And we'll also learn best practices of the basic fundamental charts and graphs. Moving forward, we'll finally create an interactive dashboard that will accumulate, that will actually integrate all three essential charts and some other slicers at the left. That's what you use to filter your dashboard, and also a title. So you learn many things today. So yeah, as you can see on my screen now. So first of all, we're going to master advanced charts and graphs like scatter plot, tree maps, and tables with special formatting. Excel, it's in Excel, and also here it's called conditional formatting, but I just want to call it special formatting because we're going to use it for a special task. And we also need how to create interactive dashboards, that will cover product performance of a sales data set. So we're going to utilize a sales data set. We already cleaned one yesterday. We're going to quickly add one, quickly clean it, as a refresher for those of you that weren't there yesterday or that logged in late, that logged on late here. So we're going to do that. And so I think we should just get into it, if you ask me. So I want to share my Power BI screen. So I will show you guys exactly where we stopped yesterday. This is exactly where we stopped yesterday. And yeah, so you can see my screen now. So this is exactly where we stopped yesterday. Yesterday, the agenda was just to show you guys how to transform data and show uh, some kind of just how to create charts, very basic chart like the charts that you're seeing here. So that yesterday, continue from yesterday, a line chart is a chart used to show trends in development of data over time, of metrics over time. As you can see here, we're trying to visualize the movement of our sales from in the year 2017 over the months. Understand? We're trying to see the movement of sales throughout the month of 2017. That's why we use the line chart. Line chart is best for time-based data, you know. And we use the bar chart in this case to see the revenue by each product, but we utilize the product ID because our product table has not yet been cleaned or connected to. So we're going to just move on. So, and how did I build the chart? I built the chart by clicking the chart. You just have to click here, then this will come up. Then you go to your data pane. All these things are called pane, if you can't remember. Then you select what you want to view. So I just simply had to select product ID and revenue, and Power BI will smartly place in these things to where they should be. Based on this is not a categorical, is a categorical variable, is text, so it's understood smartly that any text, so far as the column chart that is selected, any text should be in your x-axis. X-axis is this axis here. Then any numerical data that is your that's with this sign here should be in your y-axis. So we're just going to continue. I'm going to name this page. I'm going to actually name this page day 1 or intro to Power BI. So this was your introduction. I'm going to create a new page and be like, chat data viz as visualization best practices. So let's get straight into it. As you saw in the slide, we are doing 3 things. Let me just write it here so you guys won't, or you can also view it down in the description, the agenda of the day, going to master some advanced charts. So I'm just going to write it here so it will always be on the screen. Advanced charts. That's a scatter plot, tree map, and tables with special formatting. So that's what we are going to do today. No problem at all. Please, you can let me know down in the comments if that big enough. I think that should be huge enough for all of you viewing. So the scatter plot is basically a plot, a chart that enables us to understand the relationship between two different variables. Yeah, a variable is simply a placeholder for data. So a variable can be any column in your data set. So I have a very specific data set I want to upload quickly and utilize for this particular section, for the scatter plot section, very, very quickly. So I'm going to go to get data, and the data set I have is in an Excel format. So just go to Excel workbook, then double click on correlation scatter plot. That's the data set I want to work with. And I'm going to go straight to transform. This will take me to another window called Power Query Editor, where we transform data in Power BI. So I'm going to transform it, and I will have to share my screen with you guys because it's taking me to another window. Just give me one second there. Let me present that the new screen that just came up. Okay, so new screen that just came up is Power Query. Yeah. Okay, so this is the new screen that just came up, and this is fine. So let's just quickly clean it. You guys already know. First things first is to make our headers, to promote our headers. This is the one that we did yesterday, and these are all the steps that we did together. So I want to just first of all ensure that the name is right. Please correlation dataset. And I can promote my headers by coming here under my home menu, under my transform group, use first through as headers. Click on it. Then you guys know how to individually change, right, your columns to the data type that you want by clicking on this small icon here and selecting, like, now that's company. So and this company ABC, that's in the rows. So it should obviously be text, right? But instead of you to do that one by one, you can click here, yeah, and scroll, hold your shift button, click the last one, and go to your transform menu and click on detect data type. Power BI will then do this smartly for you. It will understand the data set that you're working with, right? The details, the content. Anyone that has numbers is going to understand it as whole number. If it has any decimal points, it's going to understand it as, a decimal number, which has the icon 1.2, as you can see here. Anyone that has any kind of letters is going to understand it as text, which will give it ABC, which means a text data type. And I told you guys yesterday that any kind of number that you're working with that is essentially based on a currency. Like now, advertisement spend, that's obviously based on a currency. So it should be understood as now Power BI will not understand that for you. You should work around that by yourself. So now we know that. So we can leave it as number, whole number, or decimal point, decimal number. That won't kill us. That won't be a big deal. But just for the sake of consistency, you should ensure that you can say that the sign here is even dollar sign. Like if you look at my screen, this sign here is dollar sign, the icon for it. So anything that's based on a currency should be in that fixed decimal number, no matter what. It just enables a kind of consistency, the kind of consistency that we actually would like in our day to day. So yeah, I'm just going to ensure that for my salary column, my housing column, and my advertisement column. Then I'm just going to quickly. That's all I need to do. So close and apply. So we're going to understand the scatter plot visualization, and we're going to understand it very, very, very quickly. Is this one here? This one here. So you're going to click on it. I'm going to come down a bit, make it a bit small. Let's understand a few, let's just see what the data is talking about by going to our table view and clicking on the data set that we want to work with. Clicking on the data set, let me just quickly delete this. Yeah, so clicking on the data set that we want to work with, which is correlation data set. So we basically have details on a company, right? So you can see the company column, there's a company column and there are other columns that talk about the details of the company, right? The advertising spend, their sales, the location, the price of their current. I believe this housing price is their rent. You understand how much you're paying for rent, square footage, or how much the full housing of the company is. Yeah, the full property, landed property. So square footage is the, I don't need to tell you the square footage of the company, the square footage the company contains, uh, or then the salary is the salary of their employees, and total salary of their employees. Then the employee experience years is the number the years of experience each employee has. I think this is the average years of experience. So just basically details on a company, company data. So we can understand like two kinds of relationships. Let's start. So I want to understand if there's any relationship between the advertising spend that this company, the amount this company puts in advertisements. I was told that my screen is not showing. Let me show that again. Share screen. So my table view now. On my table view now. Forgive me if you're not seeing it. So this is my table view. I'm just talking about it. So this is my company column, advertisements. So this, as I said before, this just a data set that has details of my company, details of the company in question, of different companies actually. So there's advertising spend, sales that they have, the location of the company, the square footage that the company contains, the average salary of their employees, and many more. So there are a few things. We're just going to work with like four things here. So the first problem or situation that we are going to cover is understanding if there's any kind of relationship. As we are data analysts, so we want to understand if there's any kind of correlation between advertisement spend and sales that the company ended up generating. I want to understand, I repeat, if there is any kind of correlation or relationship between advertisement spend and sales generated. So it's very easy to do that. That's why I'm telling you that. That's why these are called advanced charts. So I'm just going to do that by going to my correlation data set and simply clicking on the two things I want to understand the relationship between. That is my advertisement spend and my sales. But if you notice, you see a dot, right? It's just one dot. That's not what we're trying to see. So we're going to come here, click on this drop down here, and then ensure that they are not summarized. Ensure that they are not summarized. This is clear. So anytime your correlation is facing upwards, anytime the points align like diagonal to the x and y axis by a diagonal line, I mean, if you're looking at my screen right now, I mean something that cuts across like this, in this way, right? The diagonal line, anytime is falling down to the right somewhat, right? It's exactly in between the x and the y axis in any kind of way. So anytime the lines in your scatter plot are aligned like this, it means that there is a positive correlation between the two variables that we are trying to see. So this means that there's a positive correlation between advertising spend and sales generated for all the companies in question, or for most of the companies, right? Because as you can see, as my sales are increasing, my advertisement spend is increasing. As my sales are coming up, right? As you can see, they're coming up, my advertisement spend is going forward. So that means they're both increasing. That's a positive correlation. So I'm just going to actually title this, I'm going to actually title it the scatter plot of what we are in the name, the chart that we're dealing with. So this is a scatter plot. It's going to be a scatter plot one actually, nothing too fancy. Increase the size a bit. Like I went to format to visual under my visualization pane, and I went to the general and title. So that's the first scatter plot. So as you can see, we have understood that there is a positive correlation between our sales and advertisement spend. And I can also see that the text in my sales and the text size is small in this sales and this advertisement. How do you work on that? You click on it, you come to this format your visual, you come to this x-axis, you look for the x-axis values, right? And you actually just up it, increase it a bit. So I want it to be so that's the x-axis values, right? Okay, sorry, x-axis title actually, title. And let's increase it. Yeah, it's going to increase a bit. That's fine. That's fine. So Let's go to our y-axis and see if we can, and let's try to do the same thing for our y-axis. Okay, the changes are not affecting because the chart was very small. So if I just drag it down a bit, it's going to affect. That's fine. So we want to make another scatter plot. We want to understand the correlation between two more things. We want to see if there's any correlation between the salary or between the I can see that there's a column, a series called average online ratings, that is ratings that have been given to the company. So let's see if there's any correlation between the employee experience years, that's the number of years that the average number of years that the employees in each company has, right? Let's see if there's any correlation between that and the company rating. Yeah. So let's see if the number of years employees had any effect on the ratings that the company was giving. You understand? So that's a very reasonable metric to analyze. We can just do that. So these are settings will not change. We can just simply copy this chart, Control C and Control V, and just keep it beside uh, themselves. First thing I'll do is to change the title. I can change the title, go to my general title, just change this to scatter plot 2. I can now say, okay, because of now we no longer want to see advertisement spend and any other thing that was there before. Go to exit, then go to average online ratings and employee experience years, then go back and don't summarize, don't summarize. So what's this going to give us? Now, anytime, obviously, if it's facing like this is positive, like we understood, because as one is increasing, the other one is increasing. That's a positive correlation. If it's facing this other diagonal way, if it's on the flip side of this, there's a negative correlation. That's when one is increasing and the other one is decreasing. But in this particular case that we're dealing with right now, there is no correlation between employee experiences and average online rating. There is no correlation. Like there is no the employee experiences has nothing to do with average online rating. And how do I know that? Because of this scatter plot is literally scattered. There is no alignment. It's not aligning down to the right or down or down to the left. It's just random, and that means that there is no correlation. So you understand? So that's just the idea of a scatter plot. That's why it's a bit more advanced when it comes to the charts that we actually work with in Power BI, right? Because it tells a deeper message. It tells a deeper message than just a bar chart or a line chart. Line chart, good and fine, shows a trend. Bar chart, good and fine, shows categorical amounts and quantities and compares them. But the scatter plot will show you, you know, the relationship between two variables. It's really really going to help you to quickly get a snapshot of what's going on when it comes to the how one data set or one variable affects another. So that's smart. And now the next thing is stream map in our agenda. The next thing is so I just hope you understand how to create a scatter plot. If you have any questions, please ask me in the comment section. I'll respond. We will respond. My team will respond ASAP. So we want to enter the stream map vision, but before I enter that, I want to talk about a bar/column chart properly. So it's a kind of chart that helps you to create to basically quantify and compare categorical variables. Quantify and compare. Now, if I go back to what we did yesterday, when we're trying to understand the revenue by different products, you can see that although the product name is not showing, it's not showing well enough. Uh, okay, there's not enough space for this. That's fine. The things that we're trying to see are too long, but that's fine. We're going to upload a better data set for this. But you can see that, okay, you know what? Let me just upload the second data set so we can use that and analyze these two other charts. Let's do that quickly. So as you guys already know, so get data. I think this data set I want to work with right now is a text CSV. So go to click on that. And I'm going to just quickly find it. It's not going to be hard. Products. It's product dataset I'm dealing with right now. So I'm going to click. I just clicked on it. I don't know if you saw that. Now I want to click on transform data. I want to click on transform data. So I'm just basically trying to load the dataset. In case you can't see my screen, you'll soon see my Power Query editor. That's where I'm going to do all the transformations. So I'm going to show you guys that right now. I'm going to show you guys that right now. Where I'm going to do all my transformations. Yeah, so that's it. Okay, you guys can see my screen now. So now, yeah, with the products, we want to go to just, I'm going to just quickly clean it, then talk about it, right? So these are just different products in the same company that we have this sales information. They have these products. Is their product information, right? So we're just going to quickly clean it, but starting by, as we always start, so promoting headers. I'm sure you guessed it. Then this is a bit scattered. You can see this is scanty. This looks weird. So we can organize that by right clicking on it, going to transform, and actually trimming it. So trim will work on the spaces at the extreme left and extreme right. Right, as you can see, if I click on the step before, these are the steps. You can see it look like this. Just focus on that serum. Then if I go to the step I just applied now, the serum, the space in front of it clear. The next thing I want to do is actually go back to that transform, right click transform and go to clean. So that will work on the spaces in between. And I think that's fine. Not that most things that, some of these start with capital letter, as some of them start with small letter. Sometimes you want, every time you need consistency, even in that front, even if in the case of letter like your what's it called, whether you want to uppercase, lowercase, or proper case, the casing of your letters also, that's a big part of your data cleaning. So how to ensure that you also right click, go to transform and go to capitalize each word, and now it follows a more standard format. That's exactly what we want, right? So to validate this one, in the case that I'm not sure, maybe some of them might not start with capital data, but for the ones I can see, they all start. But to ensure it's validated, that's in the case any new data set is any new row, in the case the product table is updated in the future, right? So this step will always be applied, always run through it. So we just have to ensure that we actually transform this column to ensure that no matter what, no matter the kind of new data that's added, so far I open this Power BI file and refresh it, that I will see, under this type column, it will be in proper case, right? So you just have to do it sometimes just in case, you understand? So we're just going to quickly split columns. I don't want this length times depth times breadth times width to be in the same place. So you're just going to go to right click. So click on the column, go to transform, split column by delimiter. So delimiter can also be whatever is separating your text, limiting your text. In this case, it's just that X. So you can see. So go to press OK. And my text has, I'm just going to quickly rename it. Length, depth, and width. So to not waste our time, I'm also going to just quickly detect data type by setting this to this instant and detecting data type to smartly do it for me. And I also want to split this again, just quickly. Let's split that and delimiter. So I'm just going to select the two lines, these two lines, and it has split it for me. That's exactly what I want. So go to just name this category and name this sub category. That's fine. This is a clean data set. Let's quickly close and transform. Let's close and transform. And it's going to take us Power BI desktop. It's going to take us back to our Power BI desktop. And we can do that by doing share, Power BI desktop share. Yeah, we're back. So I told you guys that we want to enter the trimmer visual, but I want to just quickly run through bar/column chart. So a bar/column chart, as I said before, I repeat, is used to quantify and compare different variables in a data set, right? So I'm going to click on just, it can be clustered or stacked. So click on it and just take this up a bit. Yeah, take this up a bit. So let's say we have a product data now. So we want to compare, let's say we want to compare the different revenue, the revenue that we gain from our different categories. So this is essentially an e-commerce data set that we are working with. The products is actually related to the sales. So these are the sales. If you can see the columns in the sales data sets, they are this profit, this revenue, sales, stock, price. So these are the revenue, sales, stock, price for these different products actually. So they are related this in tables. So I want to see the categories, the different revenue that I gained from the categories. So I've selected two of them. But you will notice quickly that all of them are in the same height, right? So we are not really seeing anything. This is simply because of the fact that we are, although the two tables are related, we have not yet actually made the relationship. We have not effected the relationship. How do you do that? Now this is our first time. So go to your model view. Right, in your model view, you will see a semantic model of all your current loaded queries. Now we have sales, the correlation data set that we use for that quick correlation, and we have the product. So this product and sales are the two that are actually correlated. They are not correlated, but they are actually related. There's a relationship because these are the products of this this company in 2017. So how do you make that relationship? So quickly, there's just a very quick way. They're actually very quick way. So look, you will notice that the product ID is in this. The product ID is in the sales, right? Product ID is in the sales. So click and drag them on top themselves, one on top the other, and just it will smartly understand it for you. You don't need to stress about this. You don't really need to stress about this. Then just press save, and it will link up your tables. You will now see a line. This is one to many because the product's ID here are unique, while the ones here are not unique. That's just simply what that means. So the relationship has been made. If I drag them away and just drag this down, you'll notice that there's a line, there's a link, right? There's a link. And now that means that, yeah, look, that's properly been spread out. That's exactly what we actually want to work with. Exactly, that's fine. So you can see that here, these as I defined a column slash bar chart. The bar chart is just a column chart that's flipped, that's horizontal. So so as you can see by the quantifying, I mean that this revenue, right? This revenue column is helping each of these categorical variables have height. Is what is giving them height. The fact that these snacks and breaded foods is higher than these fruits and vegetables it just means that the bar chart is also helping us to compare, not only to quantify the different categorical variables or the different categories, right? Is also helping us to compare them, simple and short. And all I did was to click on revenue and click on category. I also had to go and establish a relationship between my two data sets for this to properly work. If they were in the same table, then it would just to work straight up. So now, in the case now that is it for a bar chart. So for a tree map now becomes more important when what you want to see is it becomes too much for a bar chart to communicate it, right? Like now, if I want to see the subcategories now, no longer the categories, I will have to start actually using a slider to move right. If I want to see the subcategories, I will have to swipe right a bit. Now, in this case, we'll soon go for a break, guys. We'll soon go for a break. So, in this case, right, I will need to utilize a different chart. I will need to consider a different chart that will help me to see something that, because these are actually, these are much. These are much. Let's check our brand. So the brand is even plenty. So in this kind of cases, a bar chart is no longer suitable. Advise utilize the bar chart for, excuse me, data sets for categories between, let's say, 3 or 2 to 8, 2 to 10, 2 to 10. That's a very reasonable range. Obviously, you can touch 11 and 12. You can do you know you can do 11, 12, 13. But if it starts reaching 15, then that's when you have to consider something called a tree map. So I'm just going to show you what the chart looks like. I'm actually just going to show you what the chart looks like in the next page. Then we'll go for the break. I want to show you what the chart looks like in the next page. Then we'll go for the break. So tree map, I'm going to just click on it here. This is the icon for it. So to click on it, and simple and short, just going to drag it out and click on my subcategories and click on my revenue. And it doesn't do the best job also because these subcategories are so many, but it does a way better job than the bar chart, than the bar slash column chart. It doesn't do the best job, but it does a way better job than the bar slash column chart. And this can also be further improved using some of the functionalities of the trimmer visual. That's why it's an advanced chart. I will show you that and many more after the break. I will show you that and many more after the break. So please, if you have any questions, ask us right away. I'm going to be there with you to answer you now. Now. Hello. Okay, so the break is over. I'm just going to go back to it. But I this is just the quick section. I want to use this to inform you that if you think you're getting value from this live stream, this data analysis week, or from this class alone, there are different there are different collections of courses for you, ranging from online to physical. So physical course is the kind of course that takes you um, through the full Power BI experience. It's very comprehensive. You go into you go in depth into how to connect to different kinds of sources of data, right? You go into you go also in depth into how to clean data more. You get more different tips, more deeper tips, right? You get also ideas on how to analyze data using DAX, data analysis expressions is very hot in the business intelligence field, right? It's very important. You also learn that. You learn how to create more advanced charts, graphs, and visualizations and dashboards. You also learn how to share your reports for people to see. So the online courses is actually the online courses are designed to cover sections, right? If you want to just master DAX, essential DAX, not the advanced DAX, we have a course for you. If you want to master DAX, the advanced DAX, we also have a course for you. Okay, you don't want to master DAX, but you want to master create how to create a dashboard, how to clean data. There is a course for you. So please go through the company's website, right? Loctech Institute, Loctech IT Training Institute. If you search for it, it's the top, it's the first and best IT training institute in Port Harcourt. So if you search for it, you'll see us there. Please go to our website, review the courses you want to take on, and we'll see you there. Please, we'll see you there. So let's just get straight into it. Thank you. So I was talking about how we will. This is a trimmer, and it can do more advanced things than just blatantly just showing you what you want to see plainly. So I can do that by simply doing this. So there's something I want to show you guys. I want to go to the category, right? Then I want to put the subcategory inside details. You can see this first time I'm dragging and dropping. So I put my subcategory inside details. That means it will now cut. It will partition my categories to show me the different subcategories that they have at a go. Although some are not showing, but if I carefully hover over them, they will show, right? But this helps you to show in the case where as I said, the bar chart is unsuitable. Even if it's not unsuitable, but it just helps to show plenty data at once. It's just like as you're seeing it, that's how it is. It helps you to just put your data out there plainly. It's not trying to add any swagger, it's not trying to have any break, any whatever. It's just putting it out there for you. And you can do things like this, right? I can see how my different subcategories add up to make up my category. I can do that, or I can place my subcategory under my category like this, right? And I can switch on something called a drill down. So now this is the best thing that you can do, because this now means that for any category I click on, if I click on snacks and branded food, if I click on it, I'm going to see the subcategories inside that category. I can now drill up. If I want to go back, I'm going to go back. I can enter food, grains, and oil and masala, whatever this is. Enter it and see the subcategories inside it. So this is the best. This is what I'm talking about when I mean that a trimmer is an advanced visualization. It's an advanced chart, right? It can do way more. It can show you the data in the same way a bar chart can show you. Even it can even show you the data with numbers, with values, right? If you don't want to just hover over it and see, because this is a tooltip, all these things you're seeing now is a tooltip. If you can actually switch it on so you can see the numbers straight up, right? So you can do what a bar chart can do, and many more functionalities. A bar chart, mind you, can also drill down, but this can do that with more data in a more visually pleasing and accepting way, because apart from this drilling down, I can also, as I said, you can see it at once, and it's not too stressful. Although this data, I believe this is plenty, but I just wanted to show you guys what the chart is for. And the last but not the least is the table visualization. I want to quickly just do that before, because we have to create a dashboard quickly. So table, we're going to use the table visualization to view product performance. Just quickly, let me just write it out. Product performance. Product performance. For those of you that are asking questions underneath, somebody asked a question about linking. Yeah, that linking question is, so Power BI, you can call it link. I just called it linking. But it's called data modeling, where you establish relationship between your data sets. It's not, I just call it linking, but it's exactly called data modeling or relationship building, right? And the person that asked the question about Power BI mobile app, he has a mobile app, but it's of no use to you if you don't have Power BI Pro. In the first class, I talked about Power BI service, right? Power BI service is for people that have subscribed to Power BI, the paid version, and have the different functionalities. So you got your Power BI mobile app is now where you now see, as a Power BI Pro user, you see the charts, you see the dashboards that you've created. So if you're not a pro user, you're a typical user that's not paid for the account. I already have an account, as you can see my name up here. So if you don't have an account, you are just downloading the mobile app for nothing. You can't really utilize it. For me, I've paid so I can open my mobile app and see my workings, right? So that's by the way. For the please ask more questions. We'll get back to you ASAP. And I can come here and be like, so product performance. So I've put in the product categories that I'm working with. I can now come here and be like, okay, I want to see the price of my product. I want to see the sale, how many sales it generated and how many revenue and how much revenue generated. But all these things, I want to see the average, not just the sum, because some they help you to see the total, but it will not really give you a an average will always give you a better snapshot than a sum. That's just the truth. Because like in a class, three people can get in the class of five, two classes have five people each, right? So the class of one class has two people could score 100 in the test, while the other people scored 20, 20, 20. They failed. The other class had everybody scoring 60, 60, 60, 60. So you're going to, if they ask you the class that is smarter and you simply check the total scores, the class that scored 60 will probably I think it will have it will have the higher overall score, right? Which and they also have the highest average score. But the classes that class that had the 100 have actually smarter students. So you understand, there's no one that's better than the other one, but they tell different messages. So in this case, I don't want to see the total, you know, prices. What is the use of seeing the total price of your goods? Like, there's no use. You have to see the average. Say the average of the different kinds of goods. That makes more sense than just seeing total price. Why am I adding one price to another price? What's the use of that? So you understand what I'm saying? That example wasn't the best, but it was just to show you that there are different kinds of metrics of analysis actually. So this is it, right? A table visual. I just simply added. You just add what you want to see as usual and as per usual, and you can manipulate the summarization to see instead of some average. That's just simply what I did. And now I told you guys I'm not going to show you guys how to do the product performance. I'm going to show you guys how to do it with a little bit of special formatting. So this is the plain way to do it. It's not too interesting, but I cannot copy and paste. And this better way I want to show you guys now will also enable you to understand what's happening faster. So this is the plain way. This is where I'm going to just do something very quickly by going to my visualization pane, format my visual, cell elements. I'm going to select the price. So the price, I'm going to just be like, I want the price to just have a background color, you know, depending on the amounts, yeah. And I want the revenue to actually have data bars, and I want the average of sales, that the sale is good or bad or whatever. I should see icons. I can change it by clicking on my FX and clicking here, and the signs like this. So yeah, so you can see this second chart will give you a better snapshot, a quicker snapshot. That now I can see that okay, this particular kitchen garden and pets is very good because although it did not have much sales, it gave me the most revenue. It gave this company in question the most revenue, although it was also the priciest. The costs, the most costly good. So this is basically how to edit your table visual. This essentially this is actually a bar chart, two bar charts, or one bar chart and different kinds of visual aids to help you to quickly understand your data, right? Than just plainly showing you different things. Now, if I show you like this, you have to sort. How to sort with a Power BI table by clicking on the header. So if I click on this, and this icon is facing down, that means it's descending from highest to smallest. So you have to sort and do different things. But here, with icons and colors, you can see quickly what's happening. So this thicker color means that this one is the highest. The lighter colors means that they are low. They are low prices, right? And these bars very self-explanatory. These ticks very self-explanatory. You can further edit it by clicking on your FX and doing more things from there. You can set the range. Like if you want the sales to be the ones that are less than 0.1 or less than if you want the revenue to if you want the price to be thick start being thick from 10,000. You can also set it. You can set different things. But this is just how to make your table visualization and edit it. So I went to my under my visualizations pane. I went to format my visual, and I went to visual section, and I went to cell elements, and I selected each column I wanted to work with and worked with it. Very, very simple and short. So let's now make a dashboard. Let's make a dashboard. We're going to do that very, very quickly. I want to I have some steps I've already written out for how to make the dashboard. Please, you guys should bear with me. I want to share the screen now. I want to share the screen. And yeah, so so product performance dashboard details is going to have all these things. Sales of products throughout the year, revenue gained from each product category, and then you can see there's a chart guide to show you the chart that you should use, and a pie chart in defining the prices are high or low. So I'm going to go to my create a new page and name that page product performance dashboard. Product performance dashboard, right? I'm going to create a new page, and I'm going to take you guys back to my Power BI. We have already created the page, so you guys will now see. So you can continue from there. I'm going to copy that text there, so in case you want to follow, in case you want to also maybe follow suit by any chance. So let's go there. New text box. So these are what we'll be doing. Just sales of product throughout the year. We use a line chart for that one. Revenue gained from each product category. We use a column chart. A pie chart signifying if the prices are high or low. We're going to, as you can see, we're going to use a pie chart as it says. So this should not obstruct. Okay, we can start building like this. So sales of products throughout the year. A line chart. We already have that. Thankfully, so we're going to go to copy this chart and drop it in this place. Drop it here. I can minimize that for now as I build the other dashboard details. Revenue gained from each product category. Now, how do I do that? You can also suggest in the comment section. I'm viewing your comments, so please do that for me. So revenue gained from each product category. So this is my column chart I'm using. Revenue gain. So obviously, first of all, you have to click on your revenue. Let me just close this because I'm no longer. I have to click on my revenue. Then I have to now go to, I say, each product category. So I can now click on my category and see different. So this is basically what I'm asking for. This is the answer to, let's make it average revenue, as I've explained earlier. Average is better than sum. This gets a better, sharper snapshot. You're not doing anything with the sum of things most times. So this is the second thing I want to see. Just try to minimize it and drop it somewhere on top of the other one. Last thing I want to see is a pie chart signifying if the prices are high or low. A pie chart signifying if the prices are high or low. It's a bit tricky because we have to utilize something called bins. Now, if I go to my table view, go to my product hierarchy, I'm going to on my sales actually, I'm going to see prices. But there is no way, there's no prior signification, or if that's correct English, or there is no prior way to that shows if my prices are high or low. I'm just going to use a guidance from my head. I'm going to just say, okay, if the prices are so and so, but there is no column that has price slash that is showing us if the price is high or low. We can create that focusing and based on our existing price column. How? Click on your price column, right click your price column, new group. You can utilize, I told you guys, if you can utilize something called bins. My screen is not showing that extra thing. I want to get to see it. I really want to get to see it. So I'm going to stop my screen and reshare it again so you can see that is very, very important for this class. Let me share it again and see. Okay, now you guys can see it now. So forgive if you can hear that in my background, please forgive me. So yes. Now this is it. I'm going to go to my bins. Let's just utilize something called the list, please. Let's not waste our time. List is more friendly to use, right? So I'm just going to say, as you can see, it's already in ascending format. The higher numbers are up, lower numbers are low. So I'm just going to click here from the first number and go to where my this thing reaches halfway, and I'm going to hold my shift button and click on the middle one and just group it. I can close the group up, rename it, and be like, okay, these are the low values. Then I can now the rest, just everything else. Click on the first one, hold my shift button, click on the last one. I can group it and close it up and be like, these are my high values. And I can press OK. That's giving me a name already, these price groups. So that's fine. So price groups, and or I don't think that low values and high values make too much sense. Quickly, let me just rename it edit groups. I can rename it to be low high prices and low prices. Okay, that's better. That makes more sense. And I'm now going to go here quickly because I've taken our time. Time is almost up. I'm going to miss you guys. Maybe I'm not going to miss you guys. But so go to my price. I'm going to miss you guys. Trust me. Click on your price and just let it be the count of price, right? You can obviously backtrack to see what I did and why I did what I did, right? So values should be actually click on your price groups to show you high prices, low prices. Then your value should be the price, but now you don't do sum of price, actually do the count of price. Count of price, not sum of price, because you're not doing anything with sum. As I said, hardly you ever do anything with sum. So we want to now see the count of prices that were high and the count of prices that were low. That's why the count of prices here and the price groups that we just created is there. So uh, movement of sales, okay, average sales, average revenue. So I'm just going to copy everything here. Or let me just copy this thing. Uh, Let me copy this thing here and put it in a new cut it actually and put it in a random place so I can just start creating my dashboard. I can put it here. Then let me create my dashboard now. Okay. So put the line chart. Line chart can be underneath here. That's fine. That's great. That's no problem. I can put the bar chart here. Let me zoom out a bit. Okay. I can put the yep, yep. These are fine. Mm-hmm. They are fine. These are fine. Okay. So what is left exactly our title and some slicers. So let me first gather the title together. These colors are not matching up. Let me quickly work on that. Slices make this a kind of blue, then make this another kind of blue. Now they're all blue. So come here, carry my product performance, carry my product performance, paste it here, just the title. Rounding up, please. Rounding up, please. Okay, so There will be another boot camp for data analysis. There will be another boot camp for data analysis. Don't forget, we always have a free in-person 4 week summer boot camp that happens every summer, July/August. So please be there next year. I will also have some online too. Next week is digital marketing. Next week we'll have a digital marketing free training for digital marketing. Please be sure to show up. Let me add a slicer. Slicer for the slicer is used to filter your reports. So we're going to put at my slicer. I want to add two main things in my slicer. I want to go to my order date and add months. I can now change the kind of my slicer to be a drop down. So this is my dashboard. Quick dashboard, nothing too fancy. Rounding up, so this is my dashboard, and I can see my product performance. In any month I click January, I can see obviously this. I should off the interactivity between this and this, between my slicer and that, because of, let me click on that format, edit interactions. Let it not really work on this. Don't interact. No, understand. Okay, so thank you guys for being here. So if I click on any month, I'm going to see what happened in those months, the product performance in those months. If I click on any kind of product, I'm going to see how all these things, the trend of the sales, and I'm going to see the prices, whether they were high or low. Any kind of product I click on, I'm going to see the details. So that's the power of a dashboard. You get a quick snapshot, so you can see the trend. If I click on this one, this is trend. This is whether the prices were high or low. If I click on any month like April, I'm going to see how this. I want to see how this worked for April. I'm going to see how this worked for April, for May, so on and so forth. So if you want more details, please come to our. Please, we welcome you to come to our company, either online, offline, so you can learn more about Power BI. You're very, very, very welcome, and I really hope to see you there next week. Please also subscribe to ensure you meet up with us next week. We're going to have a free online digital marketing training live, 5 days. So this is quality information that's coming your way for free. We're giving our time and effort to help you guys out. So please do your best to be there with us next week. That will be the, I believe, the last week of this free online training, and we will see a new face. I know you like my face. I know you like my face. We'll see a new face next week. And thank you for watching. I really, really, really